That's for you, Paddy and Aaron.
Thank you. I'd now like to invite to the lectern the Acting Chief Minister, Andrew Barr.
Thank you very much, Tim. Can I acknowledge Auntie Agnes and thank her very much for that very warm welcome to country. And also acknowledge the traditional custodians, the Ngunnawal people, and pay my respects to elders past and present, and acknowledge other Aboriginal and Torres Strait Islander people who are with us today. To my ministerial colleague Shane Rattenbury, other members of the Legislative Assembly, Deputy Chief of Mission for the US Embassy, Tom Dougherty, and the Mills family. Thank you very much for being here. Ladies and gentlemen, distinguished guests, boys and girls. I'd like to thank you all for taking time to be here to mark a really exciting occasion for our city. And whilst it is an exciting occasion for Canberra, it is tinged somewhat by significant international tragedy that occurred overnight that did impact upon Australians. I'd like to take this moment to express the ACT government's sympathy to families and friends who were affected by the Malaysian Airlines incident. Can I, though, say it is indeed a great pleasure to welcome home Paddy Mills, an outstanding athlete and an exceptional ambassador for the city of Canberra. I'd also like to welcome back to Canberra Aron Baynes, Paddy Spurs and Boomers teammate and a fellow Australian Institute of Sport graduate. I'd also particularly like to thank the San Antonio Spurs for allowing the Larry O'Brien Trophy to leave the United States for the first time to be here today with our Australian stars. It goes without saying, ladies and gentlemen, that Patrick Mills played an enormous part in securing that trophy for the Spurs in their NBA Finals victory against the Miami Heat. And during the championship-winning Game 5, Paddy scored an impressive 17 points during his 18 minutes of court time, including what everyone regards as the game-changing 14 points in that third quarter. It's certainly clear that he's a crowd favourite in the US and most particularly here in Canberra, and in places as far afield as his traditional home, Thursday Island. But ladies and gentlemen, Canberra is very proud to call Paddy Mills our own. It's fair to say that he's come a long way since his days playing with the Shadows in the local basketball competition and as a ball boy for the Canberra Cannons. Both Paddy and Aaron spent many hours on the courts here in Canberra at the Australian Institute of Sport and also attended Lake Ginninderra College. Recently, it seems, ladies and gentlemen, it has been a young Canberra athlete has made their mark internationally. Nick Kyrgios recently at Wimbledon, Carolyn Buchanan, Michael Matthews, Melissa Breen, and of course our own Paddy Mills. Paddy's not just a gifted athlete though. He also has a real sense of community. He's worked with a range of charities to help those less fortunate. Is gaining increasing attention, and this says a lot about his character, his generosity and his compassion. He's an inspiring role model for any kid in this city, in this country or anywhere around the world who's prepared to work hard to be the best that they can. On behalf of the people of Canberra, we're delighted to welcome him back to the city he calls home, and it's with great pleasure that I now present the keys to the city of Canberra to Patrick Mills.
I'll just grab you over here for a sec, Paddy. Just I'm going to put this down. I think I've got one hand. Welcome home, Paddy. It is great to see you here. We're so proud of you, and to get to the keys to the city. I mean, what does it mean to you?
It's a complicated question, I think. But look, first of all, I want to acknowledge the traditional custodians of this land, the Ngunnawal people. Auntie Agnes Shea, Senior Elder, the Acting Chief Minister, the Minister of Sport. I'd also like to acknowledge my teammate, Aron Baynes, for being here, and also Tom Dougherty, the Chief of Mission from the US Embassy. Well, first of all, thank you everyone for coming out today. This is an unbelievable turnout. I can't believe the sun is out. I'll make this quick, otherwise Aron Baynes might get burnt over here. But listen, guys, finally to answer your question, this is great. I mean, this is the kind of support that I didn't realize at the time that was going on over in America, in Texas especially, and I'm really thankful for the turnout and for the support. Both of us are thankful for the support that you've all been giving us throughout the season, especially the playoffs, and thank you very much again for the turnout today.
Paddy, we're going to talk about basketball and what it obviously means to you in terms of basketball, but that's going to come in a very short time. But I just wanted to ask you, how proud of you are you to do it with your mum and dad here and all of your family here? It is great for you to come back and, I guess, acknowledge the role that they've played in your basketball career as well.
Yeah, of course, both mum and dad who are here played a huge part ever since we started here, and everyone else knows that here in Canberra, and I think that they're even more famous than I am in Canberra. Especially my dad with his Facebook updates, but hopefully keeps everyone up to date, which is great. But obviously they've been a big part. I'm an only child, so they have no one else to worry about. But obviously for them to come over and really witness first-hand experience of the NBA and an NBA Finals, and obviously to be there in Game 5, along with my uncle Danny Morsu, that was a very special moment for me to get them to experience it, because it was such a great achievement and an accomplishment that it's going to be hard for me to stand up here and explain to you in detail what it actually feels like. So I'm glad they got to witness that.
And Paddy, before we let you go for this part of it, what do you hope that your role and your achievements play for young Torres Strait Islanders? How do you hope that this inspires them?
Yeah, look, I think the fact that I play basketball and I've worked hard to achieve it, now playing in the NBA and obviously for the Australian Boomers at that elite level, now I'm just using it, to be honest, to promote my culture, promote my heritage, represent Australia, represent Canberra, and all the people that have the same dream that I have. At the end of the day, I've put it upon myself, just as much as Aron Baynes has, to be a role model for all Australian kids, especially young Indigenous kids. So they can see me up here today, and I know there's a few out there today. So you can see it's just me. I'm just a little Indigenous boy from Canberra. And that's all it takes. It's nothing special, just hard work, dedication, a couple of sacrifices, and the passion and the desire to want to achieve greatness. And that's all it is. So hopefully I can pass that on to the young ones and give them motivation to have the same dream.
Good on you, Paddy. We'll get you back shortly to talk with Aron about basketball. Thank you. And well done. Thank you. I'd like now to invite Tom Dougherty from the US Embassy, the Deputy Chief of Mission, just to talk about the impact that Paddy and the San Antonio Spurs have had on American basketball.
Thank you. I was promoted at the very beginning here today as the ambassador. Unfortunately, our ambassador is in Melbourne today for the AIDS conference and couldn't be here. Very, very much wanted to be here. He does a lot of tweeting on political events all of the time. But when the San Antonio Spurs won the NBA this year, he sent out a tweet, particularly because of Paddy and Aron. And I think it's telling. It was the most repeated and watched tweet that he sent out with all of the political things. And it's just a sign that when Paddy's talking about being a role model here and identifying with folks in Canberra. I'd like to say as an American, he and Aron are terrific role models for kids in America as well. And that we're very, very proud of them. We're going to take credit for them as well. And I think it's fitting, it's a nice winter day here, but it is a winter day, and probably worth remembering that basketball was invented in the United States, I think in 1891, and it was invented in the winter by a sports director at a YMCA in Springfield, Massachusetts. And he did it in order to have something that people could do physical exercise during snowy winters in New England. And within 2 years, it had spread to Europe, to Asia, to the Middle East, and then later to Africa. And I think it's kind of a symbol of how sports can bring people together. And if we needed another symbol, we couldn't have asked for a better one than what we have here today with the trophy that's come to Canberra for the very first time. We're real proud of it. We're real proud to be associated. We're real proud that they're graduates of American universities where they played basketball as well. And for me, pleasure to be here. Congratulations to them both. Nice to see the trophy here. We look forward to making sure, though, that it ends up back in the United States, along with both Patty and Aron. So thank you very much.
Now we're going to get Patty and Aron just up here to just ask a few questions about basketball and obviously the trip around the world with the Larry O'Brien Trophy. Well, Patty, you're on the recovery phase by the looks of it still with that shoulder. How are things going there?
Yeah, so for those that don't know, I was carrying an injury throughout the whole season. I had a pain in my shoulder. And it just kept getting worse and worse. I knew it was something bad. I didn't realize how bad it was. Had an MRI after the season and found out that I have a torn rotator cuff that completely came off the bone, which meant I had to have surgery 2 weeks ago. It's looking like a 6 to 7 month recovery, so I'll miss the start of the next season. This is why I'm wearing this big pillow and sling at the moment.
Yes. And Patty, you and I, we've spoken a lot over the years. I think you were at Marist College when we first came across each other, but you're an outstanding track and field athlete. You ever wonder what might have been?
Yeah, well, obviously, Kathy Freeman being a role model of mine and watching her, handle the way she does on and off the track, that's who I wanted to be. So I did have a crack at the 400, but don't think I was quick enough, so I decided to pick up the ball instead and give that a go. And
how great is it to be travelling around Australia with Aron?
Yeah, this is great. I mean, he had such a huge part in the team. This is a team that really came together, which is rare. We in the NBA, we really enjoyed each other's company, and Baynes' craziness, was a part of that whole thing in bringing everyone together. So, the boys are starting to get a little Australian accent and Australian jokes thanks to Baynes. But this is very special for both of us to have the chance to bring the trophy here. And for everyone that put on this event, thank you very much, because this is going to be by far, on behalf of the rest of the country, showing the trophy to you guys.
Yeah, all right. Aron, a former AIS graduate, obviously you're going to get a rock star reception when you hit Cairns, I would assume, in a couple of days' time.
Yeah, but I won't be counting on this many people coming out. It's a smaller city, that's why.
How proud are you, though, to be representing Australia in the NBA with Patty? What a team it is, the San Antonio Spurs.
Yeah, definitely. It was an honour to be able to carry that flag high after we won up there on the podium when we were getting handed the Larry O. So, just any time I get to represent Australia, that's why I love putting on the green and gold every summer and going out there and playing with these bunch of guys. And it was made even sweeter that Patty and I first played together when I was 17 and he was 15, just down the road here at the Institute, and we got to hold this thing together as well, so it's pretty special.
Okay, and what about you? Obviously you're hoping that your career continues with the Spurs?
Well, that's the business side of things now. That's why I have agents, and they're good at what they do, so I'll let them do that, and I'll just focus on getting ready for the World Champs and representing Australia again.
Should ask Patty how it's done. Patty, just signed a new 3-year deal. Well done. A relief.
Yeah. Yeah, very excited to say, guys, I'm heading back to San Antonio for another 3 years. It's a great place, and Baynesy knows it's a great family vibe, a great environment, and the stage that I'm at in my career, just as well as Baynesy, is we're trying to learn, we're trying to develop, we're trying to get our games to new levels that we don't even know that we can reach, and the only way to do that is to be behind Tony Parker and Tim Duncan, so it's not a bad place to be.
All right. Ladies and gentlemen, a big round of applause for Aron Baynes and Paddy Mills. Thank you. Now, given Paddy's got his arm in a sling, there'll be no autographs, but they will be over there for photographs, all right? So they'll walk over there, and because so many people want to get photographs with them, we'll have to do it pretty quickly. But once again, what a great honour this is for Canberra. It is great to see Paddy Mills back in the ACT and representing Canberra so proudly on the world stage with the San Antonio Spurs. And once again, thank you, everybody, for coming here today. Thank you.
Thanks, guys.